What is up? Finton's Film Talks here, once again with a brand new video, and this video I will be talking about tier listing Pixar movies. So as you can see, we have all the Pixar movies here, and we also have the tier list. So let's get right into it. Let's get into Star Wars. I did that yesterday. Let's get into Let's get into Pixar. Oh my god, I can't speak. Starting off, we have Toy Story. Toy Story is honestly what really revolutionized 3D animation and what really started Pixar. And I feel like everything you see in the movie with between Buzz and Woody, and kind of Woody starting out disliking Buzz and then coming to like Buzz later in the future, it's a very heartfelt movie. And I feel like we really see what makes Pixar work. And I feel like people seeing this in 1995 went, whoa, this is something we've never really seen before. And I feel like this is really what got people into 3D animation. I mean, before this, there was not much 3D animation. I mean, sure, there was like Tin Toy, but Pixar short film, but that came out before this. And I think this is just so revolutionary and it looks so good. And I feel like honestly rewatching this, it's really incredible. It's really incredible. And and of course, if you haven't seen this, you have to see it. It's a childhood classic of mine. I have to put it in A. Next up, we have Bug's Life, and Bug's Life came fresh off the heels of Toy Story, and I feel like Bug's Life didn't really land and stick in the same way that Toy Story did. And truth be told, I wasn't too crazy about Bug's Life. I mean, sure, it was fine. There wasn't much going for it, though. I'd say it's like perfectly mediocre. Um, the one fat bug, I don't know. I just couldn't connect with the characters, and I feel like John Lasseter, who made Toy Story, made Cars, made all these Pixar projects. I feel like he didn't real he kind of swung and missed on this project here. And what was his name? Hopper by Kevin Spacey, I think his name was. I really liked that. I thought like it was all great voice acting and whatever. I mean, I did like the bloopers at the end, but that's about it. It's perfectly mediocre. I'm gonna put this in I'm gonna go with C. It's perfectly okay. Next up we have Toy Story 2, the sequel to Toy Story, because it's Toy Story 2, in case you didn't know. And Toy Story 2 was good. We see the I really liked Prospector Pete and Weird Al, no, not Weird Al, Al's Toy Barn, and I feel like seeing this as a kid, I really was a fan of this because I feel like everything about it, and especially that scene with the toy cleaner, that to me as a kid was just so satisfying, and I feel like I really just really liked this movie, and it was really honestly, I'd say this is about on par with the original Toy Story. So I'd say I do think that Toy Story 1 is better, but I'm going to put it right behind Toy Story 1. Next up, we have Monsters Inc. And Monsters Inc. came out right about when I was watching movies. Well, when I was like not getting into movies, but when I was watching the movies that came to me as a child. And Monsters Inc. was one of those first movies that I was like, damn, this is really good. I mean, this is probably still stands the test of like one of Pixar's really golden movies. And I feel like that's what makes it's such a whimsical film that captures your childlike spirit. It's a clever, funny, heartfelt movie that teaches responsibility and challenging a broken system. The movie balances comedy with genuine emotion. Mike and Sully's banter feels sharp and timeless. Boo's innocence turns the monster's world on its head, reframing the way they see and fear power. What takes Monsters Inc. to the next level is its emotional punch. The bond between Sully and Boo is tender and bittersweet, creating one of Pixar's most tragic goodbyes. It's a story of innovation and empathy that shows how sometimes laughter and compassion can be stronger than fear. And that was just my letterbox review I was reading to you guys. Sorry for that change in tone. And I feel like everything about it, the twist of the villain being Waternoose, I feel like as a kid that really surprised me, and I was like, damn. And I mean, rest in peace to James Colburn, who played Waternoose, who actually died in 2002. Rest in peace to him. He did a really good job as the voice actor, and he'll kidnap 1,000 children before he dies. And I feel like this is probably one of my favorite Pixar movies. So I'm gonna put an S for that. Next up, we have okay, and now this is where we have like the golden age of Pixar over here. And I feel like this is where Pixar movies just becomes. And so next up we have Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo, I feel like, is one of those movies that is really great and like a solid. Did this win Best Animated Feature at the Oscars? And I feel like this is really one of those movies where everything clicks, and I feel like this is really the golden age of Pixar over here. Um, this is what I think is referred to as the Pixar Renaissance, and I'm not gonna lie, everything about it just works so great. Um, and so I think that makes me put it in B tier. So next up we have The Incredibles, and The Incredibles is similarly to Monsters Inc. one of the my favorite Pixar movies from my childhood, and so I feel like this is an automatic S tier. Everything about it, I mean, it's such a slick superhero movie that I feel like really it's such a slick superhero movie, and I feel like everything about it, Frozone, Edna, Syndrome, of course, When Everybody's Super Nobody Is, such a powerful movie, really, and I feel like that's what earns it this top spot. I'd say this is above Monsters Inc. for now. Next up, we have Cars, cult classic. Um, the real question is, who would win, 1998, The King, or 2008, Rusty's? That's McQueen and them. And I feel like Cars is honestly, it's just the movie is just aura as a movie. And I feel like I know it has its flaws. I know that not everything about it is so great. And I know that, like, it's rushed character development, but I feel like we really see Lightning McQueen as, like, a bit of an asshole, honestly. And then he comes into this place and he redeems himself. And it's a really good redemption story about a climb to the top. So I'm gonna put it ahead of Toy Story 2. Again, all personal preference in A, just because actually, no, I'm gonna put it in B over here because I think it's better than Finding Nemo, but not quite the best. And drum roll, please. One of my most favorite movies of all time. We have Ratatouille. Now, Ratatouille is one of those movies that you can watch anytime you want. It's really one of those movies that just like kind of wait. It's just one of those movies that like kind of sticks with you for forever. And this really earns the top spot on the Pixar list and also on my all-time list. Remy and Linguini have like such a great dynamic that really you should strive to be towards. Um and yeah, next up, we have Wally. I'm not gonna lie, Wally, I'm not crazy about. I know that it has a bit of a cult classic, like most of it's a bit of a cult following, like most of these movies. But no, it's not. It's not. But actually, I'm gonna move Bugs Life to D. But I feel like Wally, it's just not. It's everything. It has a great message. I do think that it's more of an objective, better story than Cars, but I don't think it's quite A tier. So I think I'm gonna put it in the B. Next up, we have Up. Now, if you know me, Up is also one of my most favorite Pixar movies. Probably of the more Pixar Renaissance ish era of like over here. And I think this is better than Toy Story 1. And because I feel like everything about it, it's just so sad. I mean, this was one of the first movies I saw as like a younger kid, and I was like, wow, this is a really sad movie. But it's also like it's so heartfelt and genuine that and it treads so lightly, and I feel like that's what makes it work so well. Next up, we have Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3, I'd say it's worse than Up, but it's better than Toy Story 1 because I feel like Toy Story 3 is like the end of the saga, you know. It's such a heartfelt conclusion with like Lotso and all of like Woody's turning point, which actually all gets kind of ruined by Toy Story 4, but and it's just a great movie. I mean, it's enough said. Cars 2. Where do we put Cars 2? It's such an interesting predicament because I know I really liked this as a kid, and me watching it when I'm older now, I'm like, oh, this movie has its flaws, but it's also like a really interesting spy movie, spy thriller. And I feel like that's what makes it such a good movie. but because I feel like, again, it's just like aura. There's so much great stuff going on. So I think I'm gonna put this in. I'll go ahead and throw this in C. Next up, Brave. I'm not crazy about Brave, to be honest. It was like a princess movie, not really a princess movie. I really wasn't crazy about it. Um I just feel like it's just not much to be said. I mean, it's just kind of like a mediocre movie. And I don't know, I just didn't really like it. It's it's just not great. Next up we have Monsters University. And Monsters University is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. During COVID, my younger brother, who I think was around 10, he watched this movie every single day during COVID. Like, no joke. He would just watch it again and again and again. And I feel like I can recite this movie. And I feel like it's really good. It's better than Cars 2. Uh, Actually, I'm going to add another layer. Between C and D. Add a row below. Oh, wait. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, and so there we have C. Then Cars like 2, I feel like it's kind of a league of its own. Next up, we have Inside Out. And Inside Out, honestly, this is an S tier. It's so heartfelt. It has everything it everything about it. A lot of people I've talked to actually find Bing Bong extremely annoying, which, quite honestly, I don't know how you do. That's pretty hard to find all the characters of this movie annoying. And and overall, it's just so many things to like. You really see the development of like joy in all of these characters, and I feel like it all comes together so nicely, complemented by a really great score. Actually, one thing that all of the Pixar movies have in common is an incredible score. Because I mean, Ratatouille, The Incredibles, Monsters Inc. kind of, Inside Out definitely, Up for sure. They all have just a great score. Next up, we have The Good Dinosaur. I actually have this movie on DVD for some reason, and I really do not like this. There's nothing going for this movie. There's nothing special about it. It lacks its Pixar charm. It feels like any other silly bad animated movie. So that I'm gonna put it in F. I really do not like it. Okay, here we are in the final stretch here, like the 2020s. And next up I have Finding Dory. And Finding Dory, I'm gonna put this in C. I'm gonna throw it in with Monsters University. It was fine. The Saul Goodman octopus was pretty neat, and that's about it. Honestly, there's not again. It's just like a perfectly fine movie. There's not much going for it. There's not much like going against it. But I feel like sure, it's kind of just a predictable trope with similar to Finding Nemo, and that's really about it. Next up, we have Cars 3. I'm gonna put Cars 3. I'm gonna put Cars 3 in. Okay, here's where my list starts to contradict itself. I'm gonna put Cars 3 in this D layer here, but it is much better than A Bug's Life and Brave. I just feel like there was nothing much going for it, which I feel like this is something I'm gonna say a lot about most of the current, more modern Pixar movies, but I feel like it was like, okay, McQueen is fading. How does McQueen handle this? That's great. It all works out in the end. And yeah, that's about it. I didn't really feel much. Next up, we have Coco. Okay. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. Please don't hate. This is, once again, my opinion. You can have your own. Tell me your opinion in the comments. But, Coco, I think Coco's pretty good. It's like it's a C plus movie, maybe B minus. We'll put it in C. I'm just not crazy about it. I think it's like a 6 out of 10 movie. I don't understand the love for Coco, which I know that's a little bit harsh, but it's just not great. Next up, we have Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2, that's a D. It's better. It's better than Brave. I'll give it that. But I feel like the twist villain and everything, again, it's just it's They had such a good movie going with Incredibles, and I feel like they just kind of threw it all away with Incredibles 2. I mean, it felt more like an Illumination movie with the minions than really what it was trying to do, and I feel like it doesn't live up great to its predecessor. Okay, and so next up we have Toy Story 4, and Toy Story 4, I feel like it kind of ruined the Toy Story franchise, and I don't know, it just wasn't great. I feel like Pixar is very hit or miss, and I feel like this is a very large miss. Not much to be said. I feel like I will give it some points for the animation, but it's just not good. It's better than Bug's Life. I will say it's better than. It's just unnecessary, you know? There was no need to make a Toy Story 4. Um, next up, sorry. Next up, we have Onward. Onward was, it's been a while since I've seen it. Onward was solid. I'll give it like a C. It was a great story about like brothers, and I really did end up caring about the characters and their journey at the end. And I feel like honestly, that's what when you're watching a Pixar movie, that's really what you're looking for, and that's really what I got out of this movie. Um, so yeah, moving on. Next up, we have Soul. Now, Soul. It's weird. I can't use my thing. Soul. This is also one of my favorite Pixar movies, and honestly, one of my favorite movies, really, from this decade. It's so great. It's so masterful. 22 and like Joe Gardner's experience. I really ended up caring about Joe Gardner and his life because he leads a simple life, and that's something that I really ended up caring about. And also, I really like the thematic uses of music, and I feel like Soul, Inside Out, and Coco all make a very interesting, like thought provoking trilogy in their own, similar to how Monsters Inc., Incredibles, and Ratatouille make a trilogy because they're all like Pixar Renaissance movies, but I feel like these three movies are connected in such a way, and I feel like Soul is honestly a really highlight, and it's Pixar's magnum opus. Next up we have Luca. Luca, I'd say it's worse than Cars. Actually, no, I'll say it's better than Cars 2. Yeah, I'll put it about there. Luca was solid. I mean, again, I had the characters there. I feel like it. I feel as if the almost sort of emotional parts of it was kind of rushed, but I did take away end up I did end up enjoying this movie overall. So I also feel like it came out during COVID. I think it was straight to Disney Plus along with Turning Red and Lightyear. But I feel like it was definitely a different time for Pixar and Disney because it came out during Disney Plus, I believe. I believe this was straight to Disney Plus, and I feel like that's what really makes this movie interesting. And I feel like maybe if this had a theatrical release with some more time, then maybe it would have been different. But it is not, of course. And this leads me into my next one, Turning Red. I didn't absolutely hate Turning Red like some people did. I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, it had a good it had a good vibe. Um, it was overall just like a really great movie. I'd recommend it. It's a really I of course am not a woman, so I cannot speak on this matter, but from all the people that I've talked to, they've said that it's a like coming of age into womanhood's story, and I feel like people have said that how this is a furry movie, but in my eyes it really isn't. And I thought it was spectacular. Not spectacular. I thought it was solid. Next up we have Lightyear. Lightyear goes in F. We won't talk. I feel like look at that. Buzz Lightyear should not look like that. And Zurg being Buzz Lightyear was just oh, that's kind of interesting. And and yeah. Next up Next up we have Elemental, and I liked Elemental. I'll put it in B. Elemental was solid. I feel like it was really great. I think I saw it in theaters. It kind of felt like Zootopia almost in a Pixar way, but I feel like it stuck the landing and it showed that differences are okay. And it was kind of a rebound for Pixar coming off of the 2020 to like 2022 period. Granted, I did find some of the jokes unfunny, like the pruning jokes and the coming of age jokes, but it was take it with a grain of salt. And finally, as I have not seen Elio yet, Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2, I liked Inside Out 2. I'll put in I'll put Inside Out 2 in I'll put it in B. I feel like it was a great sequel to Inside Out, and I feel like it worked really well, and I did end up caring about anxiety, and I really cared about the characters, which I feel like is again once really needed in the Pixar movies. And so overall, let's take a look at this list. S tier is all these movies that, quite honestly, are some of my favorites. A tier, some great movies. B tier, solid movies. C tier, fine movies. Cars 2 gets its own category because I don't know where to put it. Then we have D, I'd say pretty bad movies, and F, which just don't watch those. And I do still need to watch Elio. Probably should have done the tier list ranking without Elio. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.